Today I will be performing my air brake inspection, my air brake and in-cab inspection. For your safety, can you please buckle up? The first test that I'm going to be performing is going to be my air gauge and governor cutoff test. The reason for this test is to ensure that my air gauges are working properly and my governor cuts off in the form of a sneeze from 120 psi to 140 psi. Here I have my hazards, my high beams, my ABS, my DEF, my DPF lights all came on and turned off, indicating that they're working properly. Here I have my primary gauge and my secondary gauge, which is my tractor and my trailer gauge. They read in increments of 40 from 0 to 180. Here I have my tractor and trailer brakes. For the duration of this test, I will be reading off of my primary gauge. First thing I'm going to do is deplete my air to under 100 psi. Now that I've depleted my air, I'm going to go ahead and start the first test. During this time, I'm going to accelerate my engine to about 1200 RPMs.
Take 129 key for you. Thanks again for Monday.
My primary gauge is reading at 139. That was a good test because my governor cut off no higher than 140 and no lower than 120 psi. The next test that I'm going to be performing is going to be my air leakage rate test. The reason for this test is to ensure that I have no leaks in my system. My vehicle is now chocked. During this time, I'm going to release my tractor and my trailer brakes. Now that my needle is stabilized, I'm going to apply my service brake. My primary gauge stabilized at 100 psi. I am now going to start my minute. During this minute, no commercial vehicle should lose more than 4 psi's. No combination vehicle should lose more than 4 psi's during this minute. Five seconds left. Our primary gauge is still reading at 100 psi. This was a good test because this combination vehicle did not lose any psi. During this time, I'm going to now release my service brake. The next test that I'll be performing is going to be my air warning device test. The reason for this test is to make sure my air warning devices activate no lower than 55 psi. My buzzer should also sound, but in this vehicle, when the engine is off, the buzzer will not sound. My primary gauge is reading at 60 psi. This was a good test because it was no lower than 55 and all of my lights activated. The next test that I'll be performing is going to be my emergency brake test. The reason for this test is to assure that my spring brakes apply no lower than 20 psi and no higher than 45. My primary gauge is reading at 20 psi. This was a good test because my spring brakes applied no lower than 20 and no higher than 45 psi. For the duration of my next test, I am now going to go and unchalk my wheels. Taking my key, 3 points of contact. Closing my door. Three points of contact back in. Now that I've unchalked my wheels, the next test that I will be performing, I need to build air. So during this time, I'm going to start my engine to build up my air. And at that time, I will be doing my in-cab inspection. For my in-cab inspection, I'm gonna start with my lights. Here are my running lights, my headlights, and my fog lights all came on and turned off, indicating that they're working properly. My hazards, my right signal, left signal, and high beams all came on and turned off, indicating that they are working properly. Here I have my ABC fire extinguisher. It is has pin needle in place. It is fully charged. It's properly mounted and secured to the floor, ready for my use. Under here I have my 3 reflective triangles, red and orange in color. They're not cracked or broken. Also ready for my use. And here I have my 6 fuses, not cracked or broken, also ready for my use. Next I have my traffic monitoring devices. They are adjusted properly to me, the driver. They are clean and clear. There's no illegal stickers. They're free of any debris. They're not cracked or broken, and they're properly mounted and secured to the brackets. The brackets are not bent, cracked, or broken. They're properly mounted and secured to my hood, my cab, and my door. Here I have my windshield. It is clean and clear. It is not cracked or broken. It's properly mounted and secured with a good rubber seal to my cab. Here I have a small crack, but it is no bigger than the size of a quarter, and it does not impede my vision. And it is free of any illegal stickers. Here I have my windshield wipers. They're not cracked or broken. They're properly mounted and secured to my cab. Here I have my windshield wiper blades. They're not ripped, torn, or hanging, and they make good contact to the windshield. My windshield wiper fluid levels are good. And then next I have my heater. I have good airflow. My vents are not cracked or broken, and they're also ready for my use. Here I have my defroster. The vents are not bent, cracked, or broken. I have very good airflow. The reason for this is to keep any condensation, ice, or snow off of the windows for good visibility. Next I have my air horn. It It is working properly. It has no audible leaks. It is properly mounted and secured to my steering wheel. Here I have my sitting horn. There's no exposed, frayed, or cut wires. It is working properly and properly mounted and secured to my steering wheel. And that will complete my in-cab inspection. The next test that I'm going to be performing is going to be my tractor and trailer brake test. The reason for this test is to assure that my tractor and my trailer brakes hold separately. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to release my tractor brakes to check my trailer brakes. During this time, you might feel a slight tug. Next, I'm going to release my trailer brakes to check my tractor brakes. You might feel a slight tug. This was a good test because my tractor and my trailer brakes held separately. The final test that I will be performing is going to be my service brake test. The reason for this test is to assure that my service brakes stop my truck completely. During this time, I'm going to pull no more than 5 feet or 5 miles per hour for the duration of this test. This was a good test because my service brake stopped my truck completely. My steering wheel did not pull to the right or to the left, indicating that it needs service. And that will complete my in-cab and air brake inspection. Thank you.